Greetings, math fans. All right, so this is day 2 of chapter 5, and we already covered in day 1. We talked a little bit about combining like terms. We talked about polynomials, how to name it, if it's a monomial, binomial, trinomial, or polynomial. And we talked about the degree of the polynomial. Okay, so today we're going to talk about 2 different topics. Our first topic, so let me just write this out here. This is day 2, and we're going to talk about something called additive inverse. Okay, that sounds pretty scary. Additive inverse, it's actually pretty easy. Let me just give you an example. If I had 5x, the additive inverse is negative 5x. And if I had negative 3x to the 7th, the additive inverse is positive 3x to the 7th. So literally the additive inverse is just, you're going to change signs for every term. Okay? That's what the additive inverse is. So let's just do kind of a bigger problem here. If I said 2x to the 5th minus 3x to the 4th plus 2x cubed minus 5x squared minus 7. So the additive inverse, literally for every term, I'm just changing the sign. So let me write this out here. Additive inverse is basically negative 2x to the 5th plus 3x to the 4th minus 2x cubed plus 5x squared plus 7. It's like super easy. Okay, literally you change the signs of every term. That's it. That's what additive inverse is. Okay, that's our first topic. Pretty easy. Your little kid brother could do this one. Okay, so let's do another one here, another topic. Okay, so now we're going to do, our next one is really adding and subtracting polynomials. So add, subtract, and distribute. Okay, so let me start out with our first problem here. It's a pretty basic problem. If I said, 3x squared plus 2x plus 4x squared minus 7x. So if there's a plus sign here, you're basically not doing anything to this set of terms over here. This is basically, you're just rewriting it as plus 4x squared minus 7x. You're not doing anything to it. It's almost like saying you're distributing a 1. We'll talk about distributing in a second. But it's almost like you're distributing a 1 here, which means you don't do anything, right? 1 times anything is that same thing. So this is really what you have, 3x squared plus 2x, and then plus 4x squared minus 7x. So literally what I did here, math fans, is I just eliminated the parentheses. I just took it away if it's just a plus. Okay, when you have a number next to it, then you got to distribute. But for now, you just take away the parentheses. So remember, you combine like terms, so I don't care how you determine that. What's a like term, whether you do different colors or whether you do shapes. Okay, but I just kind of circle my like terms. So 3x squared plus 4x squared is 7x squared. So that's done. And then 2x minus 7x is negative 5x. And that's the answer to this problem. Okay, super simple. Okay, and that's just with a plus sign in between. So let's just do one other quick one here. That same thing. If I had 3x cubed minus 2x squared plus 5 plus 4x cubed minus 8x squared minus 7. All right, so literally, if it's just a plus here, I'm just going to rewrite this. 3x cubed minus 2x squared plus 5, and then this is plus 4x cubed minus 8x squared minus 7. Just keep the same signs, because it's like, again, a plus means you really don't do anything to it. And then, just, here we go. Let's circle our like terms. It's very friendly. That one and that one, and that one and that one. Those are our like terms. Okay, so let's combine them together. 3x cubed plus 4x cubed is 7x cubed. So that's takes care of that. Negative 2x squared minus 8x squared is negative 10x squared. Again, if you need to use your calculator, do that. Okay, don't mess up adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers. Bad mistake, okay? And then 5 minus 7 is negative 2. And there we go. That's the answer to this problem. Okay? Pretty easy. So let's instead of putting a plus sign, let's do a minus sign. So I'm actually going to erase, you know what? I'm going to keep the same thing here. Watch. We're going to keep this exact same thing. And I'll show you what happens. So 3x cubed minus 2x squared plus 5 minus 4x cubed minus 8x squared minus 7. So exact same thing, except now instead of having a plus sign here, I'm going to have a minus sign. Okay, so this is why the first topic was additive inverse. That negative, it's like saying negative 1 times everything. And so you're basically changing the sign of every term in the second set of parentheses. Not the first set of parentheses, only the second set of parentheses. Okay, that's why we call it the additive inverse. It's literally changing that sign. So if I rewrite this now, I'm going to get 3x cubed minus 2x squared plus 5, and then I distribute that. So I'm going to change the sign of every term in here. So I'm going to get negative 4x cubed. I'm going to get positive 8x squared. I'm going to get positive 7. Okay? And let me move this down a little bit. Now, again, I'm going to combine like terms. So that's a like term, that's a like term, that's a like term, that's a like term, and that one, and that one. Okay? So if I combine it, 3x cubed minus 4x cubed is negative 1x cubed, or negative x cubed. So did that. Negative 2x squared plus 8x squared is positive 6x squared. Takes care of those two. And 5 plus 7 is 12. There you go. That's how you do it when you have a negative between them. Okay? It's pretty easy. Okay, so the last kind of problem, again, this is a relatively short unit here. But the next kind of problem is basically where you have to distribute. So if I have, let me just give you a quick example. 2 times x squared minus 7x plus 3. So you're going to distribute that 2 among all three terms. So 2 times x squared, 2x squared, 2 times negative 7x, negative 14x, and 2 times 3 is plus 6. And that's all you do to distribute. All right, and be careful when you have a negative, right? If you have a negative, so let's do a negative 4 times 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 2x minus 3. So we're going to distribute the negative 4 to all of the terms in there. So negative 4 times 2x cubed is negative 8x cubed. Negative 4 times negative 5x squared is positive 20x squared. Negative 4 times 2x is negative 8x. And negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. And that's it. There's no like terms for this one, so that's your final answer. Okay? So let's do probably the most difficult one I can give you in this unit here, is when we have kind of a combination of parentheses and distributing. All right? So let's do that. If I said negative 2 parentheses x cubed minus 7x squared plus 4x plus 1 minus 3 parentheses 2x cubed plus x squared minus 3x plus 2. Okay, that's probably the nastiest problem I can give you. And basically what you're doing is you got to distribute this with all those terms, and then the negative 3 times all those terms. Okay, and then you're going to combine like terms. So you get negative 2 times x cubed is negative 2x cubed. Negative 2 times negative 7x squared is positive 14x squared. Negative 2 times 4x is minus 8x. And negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Okay, and then negative 3 times 2x cubed, negative 6x cubed. Negative 3 times x squared is negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times negative 3x is plus 6x. And negative 3 times 2 is minus 6. Okay? So notice the sign changes. Be careful. A lot sign changes because you're multiplying it 1 by negative 2, 1 by negative 3. Okay? All right, so this is a little large here. But that's the like term, and that's a like term. And be careful to make sure you keep the negatives in there, right? And then here's positive 14x squared, and negative 3x squared, and then here's minus 8x and plus 6x, and then minus 2 and minus 6. Okay, those are your like terms. So negative 2x cubed minus 6x cubed is negative 8x cubed. So that takes care of those two. 14x squared minus 13x squared is positive 11x squared. Negative 8x plus 6 is, so negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2, so negative 2x. And negative 2 minus 6 is negative 8. And that's the answer to this problem. Okay, that's the most brutal problem I can possibly give you, but again, it's distributing and then combining like terms. Okay, so that's it. That's a pretty fast lesson, about 11 minutes long. Hopefully you guys are good to go. That's it, math fans. Have an outstanding day. Adios. Goodbye.